The Beggar's Opera by John Gay is a ballad opera, a genre that rose to prominence in early 18th century England. This hybrid form combines elements of opera with satirical drama, yet omits the recitative typical of traditional opera. The Beggar's Opera stands as one of the finest examples of the style, featuring music drawn from a mix of broadsheet ballads, church hymns, opera arias, and folk songs. Written in 1728, Gay collaborated with Johann Christoph Pepusch, who arranged the music. The opera became England's longest-running production of its era, with 62 consecutive performances in its debut year. Nearly 2 centuries later, it enjoyed a revival that ran for over 1,400 performances. A hallmark of the early 1700s was the satirization of Italian opera, and the Beggar's Opera capitalizes on this trend, lampooning themes like poverty, injustice, politics, and widespread corruption. Gay's inspiration partly stemmed from his friend Jonathan Swift, who proposed the idea of a pastoral centered on Newgate Prison. Originally, the songs were to be performed unaccompanied, but theater director John Rich insisted on musical arrangements, bringing Pepusch into the project. Satire, which uses humor and irony to critique human vices and societal flaws, permeates Gay's three-act opera. The work mocks the English upper class's obsession with Italian opera and ridicules Robert Walpole, a controversial Whig politician and Prime Minister. Walpole, a divisive figure, was also a target of writers like Jonathan Swift, Henry Fielding, Samuel Johnson, and Alexander Pope. The story begins with Peachum, a thief-catcher, condemning unproductive criminals, including a character named Bob Booty, a veiled jab at Walpole. Peachum and his wife, Mrs. Peachum, learn that their daughter Polly has secretly married the highwayman Macheath. Viewing this union as an opportunity for profit if Macheath is executed, they plot his demise. Polly, however, hides Macheath in what she hopes is a safe place, a tavern. Unfortunately, this refuge proves inadequate as it is populated by women of dubious character. The characters compete with one another, boasting about their success in theft and pickpocketing. Among them are Jenny Diver and Suki Tawdry, who work for Mr. and Mrs. Peachum. They capture Macheath and deliver him to Newgate Prison, overseen by Locket, Peachum's associate. Locket's daughter, Lucy, is furious with Macheath for breaking his promise to marry her and instead wedding Polly. Although initially vengeful, Lucy softens when Macheath calms her anger. However, Polly soon arrives, claiming Macheath as her husband. In response, Macheath dismisses Polly as delusional, convincing Lucy to aid his escape by stealing her father's keys. Locket, upon learning of Macheath's promises to Lucy, worries that if Macheath is hanged, Peachum will claim his fortune. The two men conspire to split Macheath's wealth after his execution. Meanwhile, Polly approaches Lucy to make peace, but Lucy tries to poison her. Polly escapes unscathed, and the two women discover that Macheath has been recaptured, this time by a drunken woman named Mrs. Diana Trapeze. Lucy and Polly plead with their fathers to spare Macheath's life, but his situation worsens when he discovers that 4 pregnant women are also claiming to be his wives. Overwhelmed, Macheath declares he is ready to be hanged. However, instead of facing execution, he is reprieved. The opera concludes with a celebratory dance marking Macheath's marriage to Polly. Gay's The Beggar's Opera employs sharp satire to critique society and politics. One notable example is his commentary on equality. By juxtaposing the noble and the ignoble and having them behave similarly, Gay creates an ironic parallel that forms the core of his satire. He also mocks the institution of marriage, portraying it as driven by lust, both physical and material, rather than love. For women, marriage offers a peculiar freedom to act without fear of tarnishing their reputations. Furthermore, Gay lampoons the political climate by portraying all characters as hypocrites, suggesting that success in politics is rooted in deceit rather than virtue or competence. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.